Champions Cup semi-finals, folks. They were pretty lopsided affairs, but which players stood out? We're going to pick five. Five players from the floor. From the floor. Still on holiday. Just barely. I'm back on a plane to New Zealand tomorrow, so this is the last, hopefully, floor video for quite some time. But yes, we're going to pick five players from the round. You guys can let us know your thoughts on who you would pick if you were picking them. And as always, this is going to be up on Planet Rugby as well as a written piece. So check that out down in the description. Yeah, there's usually stuff that goes on that site, which is pretty well worth a read. Hopefully this stuff as well. But yes, first player, and in no particular order, I am going to go with a halfback in old Jamison Gibson-Park. He did get star of the match in his game against Toulouse, and he just highlights again. I don't know why I say this with a strained face, kind of reluctantly. Maybe because he used to play for my Blues and he wasn't this good. But he just shows what he does for that Leinster side and that Ireland side, right? And just absolutely driving that pack forward with just relentless pace and pressure. I mean, the bullet pass that he pushes left for Leinster's first try, and then he picks out again on the left Van der Fleer for one not long later to set up Conan's second. I mean, it's just thing of beauty stuff, isn't it, from Jamison Gibson-Park. He kicked well. He didn't run it a heck of a lot, but he did snipe when he needed to, just to kind of keep the the Toulouse guys guessing. And I don't know, man, when that guy's playing on form, the team ahead of him just looks something else. I mean, was it McGrath that came on? Still looked pretty sharp behind him as well, but still, Gibson-Park, I thought he had a pretty good shift. Next one, I'm going to go for a La Rochelle man. Nuini Antonio. Now, it's hard with props, because props don't stand out as much, and a large part of what they do is like team stuff, right? It's the front row, it's the forward pack, it's not necessarily the individual prop doing the things, but someone needs to get recognition for how dominant those La Rochelle forwards were up against Exeter, and I figure Antonio, man, the guy was beastly. Like scrums pretty much became a free penalty, didn't they, for La Rochelle at some points. I mean, they got Boogery got a try from a maul. Aldrich got a try from a scrum, which just had the Exeter guys skating backwards. Like, I don't know if it's as dominant as you can get, but it was pretty bloody dominant. And to be fair, once he goes off, and like Wardy goes off, I think Boogery on like 50 odd minutes, Exeter do come back into the game a little bit, so you could make an argument for the premier forward pack guys of the La Rochelle pack being missing. But I mean, individually, still makes 5 from 6 tackles. He beats a defender. What else can you say, man? Antonio, big unit, and he did pretty well. Next, I'm going to go with another front rower, but he's kind of a bit more flashy. And I don't say that in a bad way. I say that in a way full of admiration. Dan Sheehan is just the X-Factor hooker. And I think I've mentioned this loads of times. There are very, very good hookers in numerous international and club teams throughout the world. But Dan Sheehan, he stands out for what he can do, man. Like, when you see a hooker's name on the scoreboard, there's a pretty decent chance it's come from a maul. But with Sheehan, it's genuinely probably less likely. Like, they did score a maul try in that game, but wasn't it Van der Fleer who got it? Yeah, with Dan Sheehan, man, like, he gets a try, and he's just pouncing on loose ball like a bloody midfielder and scooting over for a try. Like, yeah, he finishes with 55 meters. Dan Sheehan, man, he's beats 3 defenders. The line-out operates at 90%. Like, he tackles, I think he made all but one of his tackles. Like, yeah, he's, I don't know, he's just something else. He's just one of those kind of weird players that doesn't fit the mold of his jersey number, but it's very, very fun to watch. What can I say? I'm a big, big Dan Sheehan fan. And another Leinsterman, and old Jack Conan. I think the last time I picked the top 5, I also had Jack Conan, because I do think he is kind of coming into some of the best form we've seen him play in recent times, maybe since the form that got him into the Lions tour. Like, goodness me. He finishes with 2 tries. Like, the first one is a proper loose forwards effort from close range. He just kind of was able to bury himself over with a bit of momentum. But the second one, he shows kind of a little bit of a skill set with a kind of a half dummy. And they had a bit of an overlap, him from Josh Van der Fleer. He makes 13 from 13 tackles. He makes 74 meters. He's like Leinster's top run meter man. I don't know what to say, man. Like Jack Conan. He's in phenomenal form. He's tackling. He's getting over like the Jenkins try. Who's the guy who makes the carry that gets them up over the advantage line to help set that up? It's bloody Jack Conan, man. He's everywhere. Everywhere. And that is a good thing. And the last one, it's another halfback with a New Zealand connection, but I swear that's not why I pick him. Caballo. He's on fire. He is on fire for La Rochelle. He's another one, like Conan, who bags a couple of tries. And some of the La Rochelle hands, I mean, they're pretty bloody slick. And Caballo's got a knack of picking the right guys. He kicks well. He snipes for that second try of his. I mean, the first one, he's just kind of the beneficiary of some great teamwork. The second one, it's only a half gap, and it's only there for a half second, but geez, it's enough. It's enough for Caballo to pick it, snipe. He's got the power, he's got the pace, he gets over, directs his team forward, and like he finishes with one fewer tackle than Greg Aldrete. Like Aldrete makes 13 from 13, Caballo's 12 from 12. That's insane for a 12. So for a 9. So yeah, there you go. Top 5 players of the round for mine. You could probably roll the dice and take a few more names out of the La Rochelle and Leinster hat, to be honest, because they did pretty bloody well. But yeah, these are the guys that I have gone with. As I said, read about it down at the written piece for Planet Rugby. But yes, you guys take care of yourselves. Let me know your thoughts, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.